So I am Lebo Lion. I've been Lebo Lion, the brand, for the past 5 to 6 years, I think. And I'm a speaker, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a podcaster, I'm an author, and I'm a marketing and business educator, not a motivational speaker. Please, I am not a motivational speaker. Not everyone who speaks is a motivational speaker. So please tell your friends, tell everyone, I'm not a motivational speaker, but I can motivate people if the occasion calls for it. And I got into this game through my podcast, actually. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, the podcast was not called the Lebo Lion Show. It was called Lessons with Lion. And I started it with two other guys who are also doing really big podcasts at the moment. I won't mention their names because we've since gone our separate ways, but it was called Lessons with Lion. And the point of creating that podcast was to democratize access to information for entrepreneurs and people who want to build brands and be successful in their careers. I felt like I had the privilege of having access to so many rooms and so much experience that I knew that the average Black, talented young person didn't have access to. So I started the podcast to be able to give people the marketing and business and career resources that they might not have access to until they get to certain levels in corporate or their job or wherever they are. And that's what was called Lessons with Lion, because I was teaching people lessons. And the significant thing about this podcast is the fact that I was the first woman to be, African woman, to be on the iTunes Top 100 charts. And a lot of people don't know this about me, which is so funny. But that's actually why I was the first one to monetize her podcast back in the day, before people were taking videos of their podcast and calling it podcast when it's actually a vlogcast. I actually did OG podcasting audio, and corporates called me from my second podcast to say, do you want to write a book? Do you want to monetize? How can we put money into your podcast? So even though some people might not know about the podcast, my podcast has been a commercially viable entity for the past 4.5 years of its existence. I think, is it 4.5 if I started 5 years ago, or 5.5 if I started 6 years ago, because I can't remember right now. But we've been making money through the podcast since then. And obviously, podcasting has evolved. And so you're seeing people like your favorite chillers or whatever, and they do the video situation. And now we also have to evolve and add video to how we do podcasting, because times have changed and there's nothing wrong with that. And I think that's also why so many people have kind of rallied behind me and said, we like this girl, we like what she's about, because I was able to share marketing information that helped them change their companies. I mean, I have countless emails of people saying, because of this lesson you shared on this podcast, I was able to get 3 international clients. Or I was about to shut down my business, but because of the lessons you shared, we're able to open it now sustainably. You know, so it wasn't a play podcast. It literally is a free marketing and business handbook. If you go to season 1 and 2 and you just listen to that thing, right down the I literally give you step by step. Go back there. The lessons are still applicable now. How to start your business, how to market your business, how to market your business online, how to sell to prospects internationally and locally. I do all of that stuff. And because we want to evolve as well as a community and a podcast, we changed our name to the Lebo Lion Show. And now we're adding pop culture. Now we're adding interviews with people. Now we're adding a bit of motivation, because I think that it's important for us to have a relationship that's based on more than just the work, right? Because